Opinions, viewpoints, and beliefs presented on this program do not necessarily reflect those of the management, the affiliates and broadcast partners, or the sponsors. Listener discretion is advised.
Scarefest Radio, the radio you can see.
And welcome, everybody, to Scarefest Television. I'm your host, Wes Forsyth, and the original broadcast date is March 18th, 2022, which matters more than normal because we will be talking about an event taking place on the 19th and 20th. Now, first of all, I want to welcome back to the fold Chad Harlan, who is... You didn't make a single comment this week about being fired, Chad.
I just assumed I am. You haven't talked to me in forever.
Well, you've been out of town.
I am happy to be back.
He's been out of town, everybody. I invited him back. Apparently he's growing a life.
He's been chasing vampires.
I know.
Yeah, he's been chasing vampires. How was your trip, Chad?
It was good. New Orleans is always fun. We did some good tours. I did some day job while I was there for a while, but in the evenings we had a good time and checked out some local nightlife.
Did you get your neck sucked?
No, not till I got home. My wife stayed here.
Okay. Anyway, that's a vampire joke, everybody, if you were wondering. Anyway, tonight we're talking to Missy and Mimi from the Sacred Journey Metaphysical Market. That's a mouthful right there. Let's just get right into it. Of course, everybody, once again, Cincinnati, Ohio. That's the Cincinnati Eastgate Holiday Inn and Suites. Starts at 10 a.m. tomorrow. Goes till 6. We straighten that out. Then they have hangover hours on Sunday. That is something I've been happy to see all the cons start doing in the little fairs and everything, is they wait till noon on Sunday to open.
Yep.
So...
We need the extra time. Yes, we need that extra time in the morning.
So, okay, right off the bat, what I want to know, ladies, what possessed you to launch a metaphysical market? I wish I had a better way to ask it, but...
Yeah, and we're actually going to drop the metaphysical because we're tired of mouthful too, so we're just going to change it to Sacred Journey Market.
Okay.
So
you metaphysicians can suck it. There.
We actually, a certain reader suggested that it was something that we needed to do, that she saw that this was something that we needed to start working towards. And we were looking to do something like this for a while, but we were kind of scared to do it. And we looked at a few places and we figured the area over here, it's not really underserved. There's a lot of events around here, but not one where we have ours. So, plus it's 2 exits from my house.
Okay. There's a selling point on the hotel.
Yeah, so we wanted to do it and we kind of jumped in both feet. Yeah. Last time and did it quickly, and we're scared out of our wits, but a little bit, yeah, it went really well.
Now, okay, I'm gonna. This is a technical question. Of course, I was there last time, and I thought it was a nice little launch. Didn't hear anybody complaining excessively or anything, so that's always good. The
yes.
One thing now you've advertised. I think I saw it on the website that you've made it a little bigger this time around. Now, by that, do you mean that you took up a little more floor space, or did you just add in a few more tables? What is bigger about it?
Well, funny story, both. Last time when you came, they actually accidentally gave us extra floor space, which is why it seemed so spaced out, because we were actually supposed to be a little bit smaller. We actually are the same size as we were last time, but we've taken on probably about 14 to 15 more vendors this time.
Cool. Did you plaster the Cincinnati market with Facebook ads? That's the most important thing.
Yes.
Okay, good.
We tried to advertise everywhere that we could. Yes.
We did Facebook, Instagram marketing. There's all
festivals.
kinds of festival things that people check out. Cincinnati USA, I think, is like what there is to do this weekend type places. And we actually got some people from that. I didn't know if we did, but last time we did get some people from that. So
Facebook, Instagram,
but I feel like
all that.
we plastered the heck out of Facebook.
We did.
Good for you. Over to you, Chad.
Good evening. It's great to talk to you all. I'm looking forward to getting to know you all a little better and getting to know a little more about the market. But let's start out with how did you get interested in the fields? I mean, I know you said you're dropping the metaphysical from the name, but obviously it's got a metaphysical interest or emphasis. Right. How did you find your way into that?
You started.
Well, actually, it was me that started it. I'm actually a tarot reader, and we have a business together, and then we're both members of Spirit Mechanics. So we dabble in the metaphysical world, and we like the family that we've, gotten to see and do things within the events that we've done. So,
yeah, it's much better than my day job.
Yes, I like it better than my day job too.
And we actually had started doing, Missy kind of brought me in when they were doing essential oils as a business, and she brought me in because one of the members was moving out of state and they needed another person. And so it kind of grew from there. We actually have a business, Triple Goddess LLC, Triple Goddess Gifts LLC. We sell a little bit of all different kinds of metaphysical stuff, and essential oils and smudges and just whatever we pull out of thin air.
It's something we're both interested in. So,
how long have you been interested in the subjects?
How long have you been reading tarot?
I've been reading tarot for about 5 years professionally, and then we've been doing Triple Goddess for almost 2 years.
Yeah, Triple Goddess has been about 2 years. The Treemanna beforehand was a little bit longer. Right. I would say that our mom got us interested into it. She was obsessed with ghosts and vampires, like all that stuff,
And we love doing paranormal investigation.
She watched all the ghost hunting stuff.
Yeah,
and we grew up talking about ghosts and stuff like that, ghost stories and all that stuff like that. And we've always been interested in it. It was all her.
Yes.
It was all her.
You said you're involved with Spirit Mechanics. How did you get connected with them?
Through me, through the mystical market. We go way back. I think we've all known each other for about 9 years now. So
the cats.
Yeah,
she's the cat herder.
I'm the cat herder of the group. So
and I dabble and help where needed, to help with their website and stuff like that.
So you got the market coming up this weekend. About how many people are you going to have there? Vendors and displayers?
There is 34 vendors and readers. I can't remember what the breakdown of readers is. There's more vendors than readers. We try to keep the readers smaller so that they all have a good flow of people in there. And we try to make them each a little bit different.
We have room to grow even bigger, but we don't want to get too big. But
we probably have room to get up to about 50 in that place.
About 50 vendors eventually.
And a lot of your vendors, I assume, are going to have metaphysical wares or ghost hunting equipment, or what kind of stuff we'll expect?
A little bit of everything. We've got the readers, we've got the healers, a lot of people that we've got some people that do energy work. We've got some woodworking,
Crystals.
some metaphysical stores that are bringing their stuff in.
Herbal teas. We actually have a farm that's coming that does herbal teas and plants and stuff like that. Herbal, like herbs.
Mhm.
And then we do have somebody that I think is bringing herbal teas.
And what's
Jewelry.
kind of unique about the readers is they all do it a different way, or they have a different
They're all,
approach.
yeah, they're all very unique. I think all a little bit different.
And we have just a little bit of everything.
We still have more things we're going to add.
Hopefully that's always the case. There's always
Oh yeah,
always
absolutely.
new and different things.
Right.
Let's go ahead and toss it back over to commercial, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back.
Everyone is talking about CBD oil, and it seems like almost everyone is using it. The research is ongoing, but the apparent health benefits are overwhelming. If you're going to use CBD products, though, what brand should you buy? First, find out where the hemp was grown. Imports are flooding the market. How potent is it? Look for a brand that plainly states its concentration on the label. And look for full spectrum CBD. This means the oil contains CBD and all the other cannabinoids, terpenes, and nutrients that are found in the entire cannabis plant. Look for Blue Leaf CBD oil. Blue Leaf Naturals is a Kentucky proud company. They use only Kentucky-grown hemp, supporting Kentucky farmers and businesses. Visit their website at blueleafcbd.com now and use the code SMILE at checkout for free shipping.
And welcome back, everybody, to Scarefest Television. Of course, don't forget, at the 30-minute mark, thereabouts, unless Chad jumps ahead again on the commercial breaks, we will have a celebrity announcement. We have another celebrity announcement tonight for Scarefest 2022. Okay, I was looking here. Of course, we were talking about the number of readers. And then, see, it's like me. I don't even count because I work for Scarefest. I'm at the Scarefest weekend booth. But I will be doing my really bad tarot card ratings. Oh, how did I do that? Okay. I did something funky on your website. So if it doesn't work when you get back to it. Oh, okay. There we go. Let's see. Bastard like me doesn't know how to. Okay. Okay. Now I do want to ask, Missy. Okay. What drew you particularly to tarot?
Tarot.
Yeah, the tarot. The tarot.
I was always the tarot. I've always been fascinated with tarot cards and oracle cards and doing mediumship and readings and stuff like that. So I figured I'd try it out and see. And I had some people who told me that I needed to try it. They thought that I could do it. I actually took some classes and have a mentor. So I tried it, and I've been doing paranormal stuff since I was in high school. So I've always been drawn to it. So I just figured I'd jump in and see what happened. Here I am 5 years later.
And you actually learned how to do it correctly. That's so foreign to me. But then again, ask most tarot card readers, and they won't tell you it was by accident that they started reading cards. Okay, now Spirit Mechanics, of course, sponsor of the show, is your featured artist. I forget what the exact terminology was.
Yes, group.
Yeah.
Yeah, they of course, everybody, if you don't know Spirit Mechanics by now watching this show, you're just not paying attention. They've been guests several times. I'm going to talk about the growth of the show. Of course, like you said, you've added more, and looking at the floor plan, looks like you got everything arranged nice and neat, which will not last long from my experience with these things.
No.
Did you seek out this mix of vendors? Because it does look very well balanced. Kudos to you. Did you seek out this mix of vendors, or was it the luck of the draw? Were you just lucky the right people applied?
We were selective. Like we did
Yes.
have some that we turned away because we didn't want to have too many readers or too many of the same things. Some of them, I mean, we ended up with a couple of woodworking people, but they're a little different. I think they're going to be offering different things. We tried to keep it to where everybody had a different offering.
So we were
Some
a
of them
little
were luck
select-
of the draw.
Yeah,
Um,
some was selective.
we actually had to have a waiting list,
Mhm.
which that was a nice plus. And then we figured when we got there, we probably could fit some more in there.
Yeah, we could have put
But
more.
it's still nice and spaced out, so there's a lot of room to move and a lot of room for people to set up extra stuff. So.
Well, good. I wonder if the people behind me will be pissed off if I put up my big backdrop.
No, the way we have it set up,
Your backs are all to each other.
y'all backs are to each other,
Right.
so you can move back some if you want to. But we do have some people that are gonna be in the center that have backdrops, and the way we wanted it to go was kind of like an O, so that every vendor gets. If you can,
You can see everybody. And you
That's
have
true.
to
Yeah,
walk
it's
around.
one big circle this time.
that's the plan. But I have a feeling it's not going to work that way when everybody gets there.
Now, on growing it, now, do you follow my rule of thumb, which is budget by the ass whipping you're willing to take?
Yeah,
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah. That's why we were so terrified the first time. We were like, we're just going in and we hope to God that we have enough money for it. We really want it to be more about the vendors, so we're willing to take a loss on our end
Mhm.
to make it better. So we're planning it. I think that we'll be able to grow without taking too much of a hit,
I think we'll be fine.
just because the speed at what we got vendors this time was insane.
Now that's interesting because now, like Scarefest is we're ahead of where we normally are this time of year, so we're experiencing kind of the same thing. Do you think that's just because everybody wants out of the house so damn bad, or
I do. I think COVID has a lot to do
I
with
think
it.
so. And then I think, with spring coming up over there, like just in the last couple of days, we've had people, hey, do you have any space? I'm like, no, we don't. We're already planned. It's ready to go.
yeah? Don't you wish you
So-
planned this last weekend?
Last weekend would have
No.
been bad.
No.
Cincinnati was Drunk Fest last weekend. I don't know that we would have gotten any people to come in.
The main thing I just remember a certain blizzard that hit around here.
Well, that too.
yeah, because
Oh yeah.
there
I
was
was
that.
thinking.
By the way, we
I'm
got
just used to
to-
it, whatever.
From the paranormal side of it now, we'll talk a little metaphysical stuff. What area of the paranormal are you not versed in that you, both of you personally, this you can answer individually, would like to learn more and possibly become involved in?
It doesn't matter. I can go. You can go. I'd like to do more energy work, and I would also like to go on more investigations.
I would love to go on more investigations.
I would, yeah,
And
paranormal
when
investigations.
I say paranormal investigations, I'm not talking about 50 people there and you can't hear anything except
We've
for
done that.
other people talking. And I really want to learn more about crystal gridding, I think.
Crystal reading,
Gridding.
All that.
gritting,
Yeah, reading.
gritting. Well, tell me about it. What is it? Tell me. It's something I'm not familiar with.
Crystal gridding?
Yes.
Where you set up your crystals. I don't know a whole lot about it.
A certain way, certain types of crystals in certain positions, and in a grid, sort of, or just a design that you put them in, have different meanings and do different things.
I think my daughter is obsessed with rocks and stones and stuff like that, and our house is overflowing with them now. And I feel like I need to know more about what else in my house. I know about some, but
Funny side story. Now, I'm not into the crystals and stuff. I mean, occasionally I'll see one pretty enough that I'll bring it home. Very rarely. Anita, my producer slash wife, loves crystals and rocks and everything. And the other day I walked in the kitchen and I thought a cat had shit on our washing machine because she had one of those little, she had black rocks sitting on it. That's it. And, so just want to throw it out there that they're.
You did not tell me that.
Well, it just came up. It just came up. But yeah, she had this little black, looking like shiny coal. I don't even know what it is. But
Well, now I'm gonna see like crystals and think of cat shit.
Yeah.
well, I mean, some of them that's what they look like.
You're welcome. I'm here all week.
Thank you.
Now I was before I toss it over to Chad. I'm interested for many reasons, but I'm gonna, in case she's watching, I'm not gonna get myself in trouble. But you all do have an astrologer. That is something I don't see at a lot of psychic fairs to begin with. I don't know why.
And that's something I'm sorry. I actually specifically, when I was looking for vendors, asked for an astrologist because I wanted one. I thought it would be neat to have. You don't see it a lot.
No, not at all.
I've seen it a few times. But that's what I kept telling her is I really want an astrologer. Now we had somebody that did birthday charts last year, last year.
Yeah.
And I don't know a lot about her, but we've chatted a few times, so I'm curious to see what she's got.
And we're actually talking about a nice young lady named Lori Kaufman. And if you go to sacredjourneymarket.com, on the vendor page, there is a link to her website. You just click that and you find out all kinds of neat stuff about her. She's way too young and perky for me, but I am interested in talking to her because now astrology is something but see, you have to memorize. You can't do intuitive astrology. You know, so yeah, that's more of a black and white thing. Now, one thing, and I didn't see any, you all would know if anybody's doing it there. I would like to, I don't know why more people don't do palm readings. Good old fashioned palm readings.
You know, I have a friend that does it, but she lives way too far away to come and do it.
We would like to have one.
I have a book, but my patience has gotten thin, and I feel like that's a lot to learn. It's a lot of little lines, and my eyes are not as good as they used to be.
Well, that obviously didn't help. I've had two quote unquote palm readings. The first one, what was her name? She used to come to the Mystical Fair. I believe she passed away actually, but I was actually, even though the reading was very, very accurate, I was actually disappointed in it because she told me everything from the back of my hand. She just said, set your hand on the desk. And she went through all this stuff and told me, but the way of course, I'm a farmer, right? My fingers are crooked and all this stuff. But she did a very accurate reading, but it was literally just based on the mechanics of my hand and didn't get into the palm reading of it. Now, when I was down to Atlanta, yeah, that's where I was. They had an actual palm reader, and it was fascinating. I'll just put that out there. So if anybody wants to learn a metaphysical skill by the book, that was one of the most fun readings I've had for a long time. Actually, looking at my palm and telling me what all the lines meant. And so
I never had one.
I've never had one either.
I've wanted to have one.
Well,
I've looked in the book, like I'll look up lines. And I'm like, is that line really what that says that is? I can't, that's.
Well, since you all are apparently going to try to make this a regular thing, I highly suggest finding a palm reader. Chad, over to you.
I will find a palm reader for you, Wes, for the next one.
I want to go back and touch on, Wes was talking about the paranormal side, and you both said you'd like to get more into investigations. Are there any locations near you that you have investigated or are on a short list of where you want to go?
We've both been to Waverly.
Yeah, but it was a big, huge group, and people will say they were hearing things, and I'm like, I really think it's just the people on the floor above us that we're hearing. There's a school, I think Shane from Blythe Paranormal. They've been there. There's a school not far from here, and I can't remember the name of the school.
Can't remember the name.
There's
of
a
it.
school that's supposed to be like a lot of activity.
Post Town.
There's
Post Town.
do I?
Post Town.
Yeah.
Post
Yeah.
Town Elementary.
I've been wanting to go there, and then there is the dang gateway to hell.
Bobby Mackey's.
Bobby Mackey's.
I might get slapped, but I don't know how much I could be wrong.
I always hear mixed reviews. Some people go there and
don't-
believe that they walked into the portal to hell, and other people think that it's just a nightclub. So it's always interesting to hear the
hole,
different
you know?
takes.
Yeah, I'm curious. I kind of want to go there just to see if I think it's just a bar with a hole in the floor in the bottom,
Mhm.
or if it's something. I'm kind of a skeptic among all of the people that I hang around. I'm a little bit more skeptical than most. But
Well, we try to debunk a lot of stuff too, just because.
not saying that I haven't seen and heard things
Yes.
and had weird things happen to me, but for the most part, I tend to be more skeptical and try to mark it up as something else, like whatever. It's the way.
And funny
Crazy.
you mentioned Waverly. I just booked another trip there in August. But I've been
I
there
agree.
7 times and never had an experience. But I keep going back because I actually find it to be one of the most peaceful places I've ever been. I find it very calming, and I think it's just the energy where so many nurses and doctors were trying to help people.
We had a full moon when we went, didn't we? And so it was really bright, so it was kind of neat. I personally did not have an experience that night. There was one room that I think that I had this gut feeling that I didn't need to go in. But other than just that gut, I don't want to go in there, which could have just been fear because it was a dark, creepy room. I didn't really have any experiences. I got a really cool picture, and it's not paranormal at all. But it came out, the people in front of us were taking a picture at the same time in the death tunnel.
They were at
And
the other end.
They were there, and the flash came back, so it's just 2 silhouettes of people standing with a big flash behind it. It's a cool picture, but it's not paranormal at all.
We did get a few pictures where there were some questionable things in it.
Right.
But as far as outside of photography, we didn't get. We want to go back. We are ready to go back.
You couldn't really do EVPs there because there was
No,
too many
too
people.
many people talking. We need to go in a smaller group.
Like I said, I've gone with people that have never been on an investigation before, and they swear they saw 100 shadow people. And I have actually experienced less activity there than most of the places I've been. But I do find it incredibly peaceful, and it keeps pulling me back, even though I'm not getting great evidence. But
Right.
I want to go to the Rose Opera House too.
Yeah, that's not too far.
No, it's not.
Right.
I mean, if you ask Spirit Mechanics, Ohio keeps them in business pretty
Yes,
much.
it does.
So there's lots of places to go. I kind of would like to go out to some cemeteries. I know that sounds a little bit morbid, but I feel like if I'm not to just be cheesy, I find cemeteries peaceful,
Mhm.
and I like the history and looking at the gravestones and seeing these people and saying, hey, especially going to New Orleans, the gravestones there are really interesting because they usually have pictures or stuff and everything's above ground. But seeing the history and being like, wow, that's so cool. This person lived in the 1800s. I wonder what they were like and stuff like that. So
I'd like to go back to we're originally from Mississippi. So, and we lived in Vicksburg briefly. I would like to go back to Vicksburg,
to the
to the Civil War cemetery.
Battlefield.
Yeah.
Well, we're up on the actual time. We're supposed to take a break. So I'm going to toss over to the break, and we'll be right back.
All right.
Spirit Mechanics is here to help. Their background includes many different specialties across the metaphysical spectrum, including alchemy, shamanism, Celtic witchcraft, angelic magic, astral travel, and more.
With over 30 years combined experience in the group, you can be confident in their ability to help. If there is a question you have that you cannot answer, they will do their best to assist you.
Metaphysics can be intimidating, confusing, and unfortunately, abused. Spirit Mechanics takes pride in being selfless in the pursuit of helping others, being humble and honest with their clients about their questions, and lastly, maintaining a professional and personable atmosphere. They want you to feel as you are coming to a close friend, and they will do everything in their power to make you comfortable and safe.
And our announcement for this week, we're announcing Dana Ashbrook for you Return of the Living Dead fans. He was Tom Essex. Tom, he played Tom in Return of the Living Dead Part 2. We have Dana Ashbrook coming to add to that reunion. Also, if you would like to volunteer to be a part of the Scarefest Horror and Paranormal Convention coming up October 21st, 22nd, 23rd of this year, we still are taking volunteer applications. Just go to thescarefest.com or scarefestweekend.com. Click the volunteer link, and there's a little form you fill out, and we'll be getting back with you. The Horror Film Festival of the Scarefest is also live. We are taking entries for the 2022 version of our Horror Film Festival. And I've got to have a judges meeting. We've got our judges lined up. And I've watched a couple movies, and the other guys. Well, actually, I think my newest judge has watched a whole bunch of them. But we haven't taught him how to score them yet, so it's all going to... Anyway, if you got a film, or you know a filmmaker, go to thescarefest.com. And, of course, this weekend, the Northern Kentucky Cincinnati Holistic Market, called Sacred Journey Metaphysical Market, coming up this weekend, tomorrow and Sunday. Holiday Inn and Suite, Cincinnati Eastgate, Cincinnati, Ohio. The address is there. You can GPS that bitch and get right to it. That's what we're talking about tonight. And I found my cigarette I dropped. The Central Kentucky Metaphysical Market will be back in April. We called it off this month to give the ladies here plenty of elbow room. Central Kentucky Mystical Market is coming up. I believe is that the 8th and 9th? And of course, the computer's going to load slow as a bitch. Anyway, 9th and 10th. I'm sorry, April 9th and 10th. I'll probably be back there. I started to miss it because there's an auction that day, but I don't have any money, so it really doesn't matter. So I'll go there and pay my bar tab. Okay, everybody on screen now. I want to talk about ghost hunting because of the place. Okay, Waverly, first of all, I agree with you, Chad. That place drips history the moment you walk in. I do think the place is haunted. I just think it's not haunted per square foot like some other places. So,
like I said, I find it extremely peaceful. There's something, like I said, there's something in it that calls me back. I go as often as I can, but as far as walking out with evidence, I have never had any luck with it there. But
now I EVPs. Now, when I went with of course I went with a small group. Old story, bunch of college kids ran up and down the stairs like they killed me. But the point is, now on EVPs, I did real good. The only thing is, if you get one of the younger tour guides, they will tell you. Now, you two listen to this because you're wanting to go. They will tell you, oh, you cannot hear the people upstairs or the people. Yes, you can. If a bat farts in the basement, you can hear it from the roof. That place is acoustically funneled. I don't know how to describe it. So yeah, anything goes on in that building, you will hear it. But I did get some really good EVP evidence when I was there. Visually, the only thing now the reason you see shadow people, because the walls, look at them in daylight and you will understand. Unless they've cleaned it up a whole lot since I was there, the graffiti and everything and missing plaster and all that stuff. But I do believe the place is haunted, as I do Bobby Mackey's. You brought up Bobby Mackey's. I will say I believe it's haunted. I don't believe it's nearly as haunted as some people, but I do think some of the ghosts have decided that if we're assholes, we get more foot traffic. So there.
Yeah.
Take that for what it's worth.
I haven't been there. I've wanted to go.
Yeah,
I wanted to see if it's really worth.
I'm not afraid to go.
Yeah.
We'll put it that way.
I don't even, hell, I lost count of how many times I was there. I was their paranormal cooler. So, for a brief period of my life, meaning that every time Zach Bagans got scared, somebody called me. Now, and that's oversimplification. I was friends with the tour guide, so. Anyway, but yeah, oh, and by the way, Chad, you're booked for Waverly in August.
I am.
What's the matter? There weren't any trips to the sun available?
It'll be nice and warm, I know, yeah. You know, they're now doing it year round. It's getting hard to get in. They release tickets 3 times a year now instead of just on January 1st like they used to. And so you have to wait for the launch date for the block you want. And I had scheduling conflicts with the person. I'm taking my niece, and so I wanted to make sure I pushed it far enough out for time. But yes, no, I'm very much expecting it to be quite toasty and humid.
Yes, I don't think and I'm a farmer, people. I have worked in tobacco and hay all my life. I don't think I've ever sweated more than I did following those college kids up that staircase. That being said, Waverly, everybody, I would tell you, if you've never been, do go one time. Smaller the group, the better. But then again, is it still $100 a pop if you get 10 people?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So it's not. You need a decent sized group to be able to afford to go. I understand that part, but if you can get in with a group of 10 people, 12 people, somewhere around in there, it is a very worthwhile. And when you pull in the parking lot, you will just get this overwhelming smack in the face of history. Now, we were talking about cemeteries.
I was creeped out in the parking lot. Like, I wasn't creeped out inside, but waiting in the parking lot, I was creeped out.
See, that's me at Bobby Mackey's. I've been there, and I'm more worried about the neighborhood it's in than I am the actual building.
I've been in the basement many times. I'm more worried about the foundation of the damn place giving out while I'm down there. Now, the other thing you mentioned about going to cemeteries. Now, I'm not fascinated with them. I'm not drawn to them. Where did we go? Was it, heck, I almost want to say it was Gatlinburg, where they had all half the graves were like children that died of whatever children die of.
There's a lot of cemeteries on that drive-in tour in Gatlinburg that are very, very cool.
Yeah.
They're old.
But it's actually borderline depressing because it's like, baby Anna died at 3 months or so-and-so died at 1 year, and
That might make me cry.
I might cry a little bit.
Yeah, that was my experience there. Of course, now to me, well, Kentucky's the hub of all paranormal activity, but I will say the place that I've been that I'm dying to go back to, I loved Gettysburg. So put that on your bucket list too.
I think so. That'd be good. Yeah. That would be a really cool place to go.
So everybody, we're talking tonight about the sacred, well, we're talking about ghost hunting at the moment, but the point of the episode is the Sacred Journey Market coming up this weekend. I will be there representing the Scarefest, and I will be doing my really bad tarot readings, if you're interested. But some of the vendors that you can look for, they've got them on their website. Go to sacredjourneymarket.com. Of course, our friend Shane Blythe Paranormal will be there. Breathe Bath and Body. I'm not familiar with that one. Beetle Bat Studio. Did they change your name? I recognize the logo.
Yes.
Okay. I recognize the logo, but the name meant nothing to me. A to Z Custom Resin. Da Bombs. Elemental Energy work with Lee Haley's Handmaids. Now, the reason I'm reading all these off because I'm pointing out a couple. Half Pint Provisions. Where's the one that got me so tickled?
Oh, I bet I know which one it is.
Probably the woodworking one.
The woodworking one?
There it
the
is.
Hose place?
The Hose Place, Woodworking and More. Do you happen to know the story behind the name? Because I think that's just a hoot.
No, and I planned on finding out this weekend what the story behind the name is, because as soon as she signed up and I saw the name, I was like, this is my people.
Yeah, we giggled.
This is great.
We giggled.
And of course, Henna by Anna Rose, so I can maybe get that tramp stamp that I've been talking about. The Jeweled Phoenix will be there. Joni Con, the one of probably, actually, not probably, 2 readers that I go to regularly. So I always now, okay.
She actually,
What's that? Go ahead.
she actually channeled our mom
She
at the
did.
last market,
Oh, I never get
which she
nothing
says
back
doesn't
from
really happen. And I, I wouldn't have thought anything of it, but everything she said sounded just like our mother, and she's never met our mother. So it was a clone of our mom.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know why she's never done that for me, because I don't like anybody, so I wouldn't recognize them anyway. Anyway, what I was going to say, everybody, before I went off on that tangent, one of the things people come up to me and ask is, especially at the Central Kentucky market, they ask a lot of times, either, I don't think anybody's ever come out and said who's the best psychic in here, but they do ask who they should go to for a reading. And I would right now, it's one thing to look at the website, it's one thing to look at the catalog when you come in market, but my rule of thumb is ask, like they did me, ask any reader who they get read by. That will give you, in other words, don't just ask somebody how good they are. Ask the readers who they go to for their readings, and that's how you can pin down. Now, I go to Joni Kahn. I'm going to endorse her. She's one of my top 2 that I go to for readings. Now, this one, I hope I don't
We
butcher
have
it.
somebody coming that hasn't been out in a while, and I'm going to make him read me when I get there because I haven't seen him in forever. He's listed on the website as Sage 22, but it's Seneca.
Okay. I believe I've met him. Lot for Raisin. I probably butchered that. A baker and creator of unique.
She's at the Central Kentucky.
Huh. I never noticed anybody with baked goods.
She has cupcakes.
She has cupcakes at that one.
Okay. Shows how much I get out of the booth, huh?
I was gonna say I've missed that too. I gotta find that.
He's like, "Where are the cupcakes and cookies?"
And they're good.
Well,
They are very good.
Let's
They're
face
very
it.
good.
Unless you're between me and the smoking area, yeah, I'm not going to see you. I am, okay, Lady Faye, Intuitive Readings. Lori Kaufman, of course, she's the astrologer and tarot card reader, and dancer and yoga instructor and all this stuff that makes me feel that much older.
Sounds a lot like your resume, Wes.
Yeah, just exactly. Mangata Grove, although I do love Zumba, and she teaches Zumba. Mangata Grove, that's a herbalist, and Marianne Essential Oils, MB Spiritual Corner, Miss Myrtle's Haven. We were talking before the show. I'm looking forward to seeing Miss Myrtle. I see her, usually she's at the fair, but get to talk to her. OM Depot, which is crystals, Power of the Flower.
That's CBD.
Oh, okay. Catch. Okay, yeah, there's a pot plant on the. I mean, it's hemp. There's hemp on their banner. Okay, purple.
You're such a redneck.
I am. Purple Shadow Creations. I was reading today about industrial hemp. I actually do keep up with this stuff. By the time it becomes popular and legal, I will be too old to do anything about it. Purple Shadow Creations, Rocky Hounds Crystals, Gemstones, Sage 22, Sassy May Designs, The Scarefest, Scavenging.
I need to change that to Scarefest weekend.
Just leave it to Scarefest. He'll be all right. It's tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, that's everybody now for the viewers. That is for our whole rebranding thing, which I think is a tragic, tragic mistake. But I don't believe in rebranding anything. I mean, Oreo cookies have always been Oreo cookies. You don't just change. Anyway, Scavenging Hand, Slate Creek Creations, Smith Card Creations, Spirit Mechanics, The Sweet Southern Medium, Wicked Glass and Wanderlust Designs, rounded out by Wicked Treasure and Wonders of the Earth. So yeah, except for palm reading, I guess you can get about anything you need there.
Another thing that we don't have is runes. I want somebody that reads runes too.
I thought one guy said maybe I thought somebody said, that was mentioned on somebody's profile, that you never know what they're going to do. And I thought runes were one of the things. I'll have to look here real quick.
Might be Seneca.
While he's looking for that, I do have a question. With COVID rolling back, are there any COVID restrictions or anything anybody coming needs to know about?
There are not.
No.
The hotel doesn't have any restrictions. As far as I know, Cincinnati doesn't have any restrictions right now. Obviously, if you want to wear a mask, wear a mask. I will not be upset about it. She will not be upset about it. And we'll have some hand sanitizer available if you want to, but I think for the most part, our numbers have dropped drastically here. And I get to read about it every day because my day job is in the medical field. But yeah, the numbers have dropped so drastically. The only places that are really requiring masks anymore are hospitals and clinics. So
Great. I know everybody is ready to get back out and do things. So
well, and then we've even had like people want to see each other's faces again. Although now I just have to remember that I'm not behind a mask, that I can't make faces while people are talking to me.
But I never could hide the eye roll, so I needed a disease that they told us to wear sunglasses, but it didn't work out for me. Everybody, we're going to take a quick commercial break, then we'll be right back with Bonehead Weekly's movie review of Scream 2022. See you in a minute.
Come visit the Universal Energy Expo May 7th and 8th at the Northern Kentucky Convention Center. Meet special guests, TikTok celebrity Madam Adam, published author Patty Wigington, psychic mediums the Connor sisters, and paranormal investigator Spirit Mechanics. Over 100 readers, healers, and vendors. Admission also includes door prizes and all workshops. The Universal Energy Expo. Come curious, leave enlightened.
Hey, it's Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. Remind me not to review Pixar films and just stick with horror films. Inside joke. Anyway, this week, I need you to know that I tried my best to review Scream, the Scream 5 or requel or reboot or whatever of Scream, the 2022 version several times when it came out. COVID happened one time, and then Nicole Griffith happened the other. We all know what a bad influence she is. She made me stay at a bar and drink instead of going to that movie theater. How could she? Anyway, I finally got around to watching it. The new Scream's on Paramount Plus. I did the previous one about how much Scream means to me, the first Scream. I don't particularly care for any of the sequels. It was so important in such a time when I got to see it, and changed a lot about how I thought about film and self-awareness and meta, speaking about it. And I just love Scream. This isn't any good. For the most part, this is a pretty boring movie. It made a lot of money. It made a huge box office in January. The problem is it just doesn't work for me. It's directed by Matt Olpin and Tyler Gillett, and I'm a huge fan of theirs. Actually, they did a movie I love called Ready or Not, which I highly recommend you watch over this kind of POS. For the most part, I think these people in it are phoning it in, except David Arquette and Jack Quaid. And you might know Jack Quaid. He's one of the guys in the movie, but he's also the lead in The Boys, which is a show I highly recommend on Amazon about superheroes. I think David Arquette does a great job in this film. I'm not even a David Arquette fan. And so the movie's fairly simple. It takes place 25 years after a streak of brutal murders. Shocked. It's self-referential, just like the other Scream films. It talks about Stab and how Stab, which is the movie in Scream, that was the movie based on Scream and what happened in the book that was written by Gail. You've seen Scream. You know what I mean. You've seen these movies. It talks about how Stab 7 went off the rails and wasn't important or didn't have anything to do, and it's awful, and how the franchise sucked and just went nowhere. It taught me the new word requel. Some scenes in it I liked, but for the most part, I think it's just a pretty boring film. Like I said, I was highly disappointed that it wasn't more engaging, because these guys that made Ready or Not, I thought Ready or Not just kicked ass. Much better film than this, much more original, a lot of fun. So it's about two sisters. One of them gets stabbed by the guy. You come back. Who's killing? Is it 2? Is it 3? Is it 4? I can't really tell you much, but might give something away. Most of these things you should be able to figure out, though. Ghostface is hacking at him again. I cannot in any way, shape, or form recommend the new Scream, the 2022 Scream. I probably am the last one to watch it, so you probably already seen it and now think I'm just awful. which is fine. I just thought it was kind of boring. And I thought most of them were just phoning it in. I really did. Except for David Arquette. For some odd reason, David Arquette's performance really worked for me in it. So don't go out and watch Scream, but you probably already have. This has been Joe Lewis. Also, don't let Nicole Griffith be a bad influence on you, like she has been on me. Love you, Nicole. This has been Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly.
And welcome back, everybody, to Scarefest TV. I did forget one thing in the announcements because our new graphics guy, Brandon Griffith, has not given me a really cool graphic for it yet. So anyway, the hotel we're starting to get our hotels on the website. Go to scarefestweekend.com, click the hotel link. We've got the instructions for booking up on Newtown Pike. We've got looks like two hotels arranged on Newtown Pike, or off of Newtown Pike. Waller Avenue, we've got Candlewood Suites. Those are all available for just calling a certain phone number and saying you want the Scarefest fan block. The Hilton Downtown and Marriott Center, we do not have the special reservation link for those. So if you reserve there, you may or may not get the Scarefest fan price because bureaucracy. Anyway. So, but that is a link up now, so you can watch that. We'll be posting more about it on Facebook. But I did want to get that announcement in there. And also, if you want to speak at the Scarefest, paranormal, horror, we're wanting workshops in particular. If you can do something like do makeup or do mask or birdhouses, I don't know. I'm just saying we want more. We're trying to branch out in beyond the usual, as we always do. So we are taking speaker applications now, and you can go to the website and click that link, and it'll take you to a page where you request a speaker ticket, and it has about 1,000 questions that you have to click yes to. But that's the way it works. Okay, back to the Sacred Journey Market coming up this weekend. Don't forget this weekend, if you're in the Cincinnati area, there's absolutely no reason not to stop in and see us.
Liz, as we get ready to wrap up, let me ask, I think you're working with a charity. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how that's going to work?
We are actually giving a portion of the proceeds from the door to Women Helping Women, which is a local charity. They help with survivors of domestic abuse, sexual assault, stalking, all that stuff, rape, all that stuff like that. They will provide escorts to the hospital. They'll help you with law enforcement, lawyers, whatever kind of things you need. They're big advocates of going to schools and teaching about assault and dating violence prevention programs. They are local to Adams, Brown County, Butler, and Hamilton, which are all in the Cincinnati area. And they have a phone number. We'll have little pamphlets to give out. And, you know, if you're out there and you want to get a pamphlet, but you don't want anybody to know, you can ask us or ask one of the vendors, and we'll make sure that you get it before you leave. A little on the down low. I was trying to think of a better way to say it, but yeah, they're a good organization. They have a 24-hour hotline, so they provide a lot of help, and we wanted to start doing something. With us being women-owned business, we figured we'd start with a women-based charity first.
I just want to give back to the community.
It's a great cause. Why don't you go ahead and tell everybody one more time where they'll be able to find you this weekend and what your hours are.
We will be here, or we'll be there tomorrow, Saturday, March the 19th, and Sunday, March the 20th. Saturday, we'll be there from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sunday from 12 to 5. We're at the Holiday Inn and Suites, Eastgate in Cincinnati.
Right off 275 Eastgate exit.
Anything else y'all have going on you want to promote?
Crickets, yeah.
I just went crickets. We will actually, after this weekend in April, Triple Goddess Gifts, our business will actually be at the Central Kentucky Mystical. I almost said metaphysical
I know. Mystical
market.
Market.
We will be there vending, and she will be doing tarot reading there.
And do you have a website for the Triple Goddess?
It is triplegoddessgifts.com. And then the Sacred Journey is sacredjourneymarket.com.
Well, I appreciate you sharing this tonight and letting us know what's going on. It sounds like a great event, and I'm sure that it's going to be very successful. I look forward to hearing how it all goes.
Oh yeah, we thank you.
I had a lot of fun last time that I was there. I guess that was pre-COVID, wasn't it?
Was it? It was August last year.
August last year. So no.
Okay.
You know, we're just doing this excuse to get together and hang out with people and have a party, right?
Is the restaurant and bar open yet?
It is. It is.
5 o'clock.
But it opens at 5 o'clock, and we have warned them that we will all be descending upon them after.
The bar has been warned.
Yeah, they've been warned.
Good.
They're preparing.
Good for you, ladies. Good for you. That was my only disappointment of that weekend. Hotel was beautiful, everybody.
Priorities.
The hotel.
Yeah, I think they had an emergency. The cook had an
emergency.
Yeah.
Doesn't help me. Doesn't help me a bit.
I know it didn't help us, but we still had a good time.
No, we had a great time. Yeah, everybody. We'll call it the after party, which was a bunch of us standing outside and drinking, and those was that we smoked. But anyway, the point is, we had a lot of fun until Shane Blythe gave away half a bottle of liquor to us because he decided it was time for him to go to bed, and
he gave away our liquor.
He gave away ours too.
Shane's friendly.
He gave away everybody. Yeah.
So in other words, don't, for an entirely different reason, don't leave your drink sitting around. Don't leave your drink sitting around. But
hide it from Shane.
Yeah. Now to answer a question in the chat room, we are still booking celebrities. We got a long way to go, so keep dropping those names on the Scarefest fan group. And Eric, to answer you, I've been without real internet, for about going on 2 weeks.
14 freaking days.
And but now I've got internet again, but I'll be gone this weekend, so I won't get to talk to you this weekend. But I'll be glad to help you out, Eric. And that's our show for tonight. So everybody join us at the Sacred Journey Market, Cincinnati, Ohio, March 19th and 20th. Look it up online or find it on Facebook. Easy as all get out. Thanks, ladies, for coming. We'll see y'all next week.
Thank you.